Welcome to Mornings with Patricia. Let's see. Happy Thursday. I have to think. I've been gone for a while. I know that I have made sure that you had the videos and everything, but kind of lose track of days when you're up in the mountains and there's no cell service and there's no anything except beauty and beautiful river and waterfalls, and it's just gorgeous. So, but there's no running water at the camp that we stay in, and that's why we stay there because people are less likely to be there, and so we bring our own water in, and it's really beautiful. It's really wonderful. A lot of wildlife. We saw a deer. First time we've ever seen a deer there. So, the wildlife is just amazing. Squirrels and chipmunks and birds, beautiful big crows, maybe a raven or two, and blue jays. It was amazing. So, I think you think a lot. When when you're in a place like that, you kind of go inside and you meditate. And I noticed on one of the trails, I didn't go very far along the trail because there were people there. And by the time I'd actually went on the trail, it had been a few days, and I was in a very quiet space and really did not want contact with anybody but Bruce. So uh, Bruce Jr. stayed with Michael, and so appreciate that. So while I was up there, I was reading, and I read this 1,000 Roads to Mecca. Let's see if you can see it. I hope you can see it. 1,000 Roads to Mecca. 10 centuries of travelers writing about the Muslim pilgrimage. And it's edited and introduced by Michael Wolfe, Wolfe. Amazing book, big book, as you can see. Amazing book. Starts out in like the year 1059. It goes up into, I think, 1990. So, but travel writers, when they first started out, they, people really didn't travel to far places, exotic places, but they would write about them. They didn't know a lot about the East, like the East Indies and things like that. So they had these amazing travelogues that were full of like monsters and scary things, and that's what they thought the East was, and 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 they would you may have heard about armchair philosophers, but they would write these travelogues, and some of those were called, let's see, wonder books. So if you want to know about that, you look up wonder books, Wonder. The other thing is there were some writers in a genre that were so convincing in their travel logs, even though they had never been, people thought they had, and they came under a term called travel liars. Travel liars. So I am not going to be a travel liar. I am going to tell you about this amazing 5 days that I had, and trying to keep it inside, trying to keep it with me. I put on Facebook, I had a wonderful time in the mountains, brought the river home in my heart. And that's what I did. I brought the river home in my heart. Just before we left, I stood on the banks where we camped, and I listened very closely. Of course, I fell asleep to that river at night, but I listened and brought the river inside my heart. When I think about things like the river, and even when I was there and listening to it, it's so cleansing. I would think about it starting, at the top of my head and going all the way down through the bottom of my feet, and just washing out anything that I didn't need, any thoughts, any fears, anything I didn't need, anything that didn't serve me. It would just allow that to wash out, and that's what I wanted to bring to you today. For Thursday is, let there be a river. Now, whatever it is in your life, let a river run through it, right? Let a river run through it. And let it just wash anything that doesn't serve you. Shakti Gawain, I told you, I think that, when I got my sight back 30 years ago, when I was blind for 3 months and got, all but my peripheral vision back, at that time I used Shakti Gawain's method of creative visualization. And That's an amazing thing to do for yourself, whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's thoughts or it's a physical problem, whatever it is, allow yourself to create a visualization just for you, right? For me, it was the little green men that would go in and soak up all the spinal fluid, extra spinal fluid that was on my brain and pressing on my optic nerves. Then I'd see the little men go out and wring out the little sponges. I did that twice a day for 15 minutes. So during your meditation, whatever creative visualization works for you, but allowing a river to run through it is an amazing thing, because you think about the qualities of a river, right? It's just, they take everything, they wash everything, and they take everything down with it, right? During the heavy storms, we can see big logs go down. We can see everything just move, and the river takes it away, takes it away. One of the things while I was watching the squirrels and the chipmunks, I always saw one chipmunk, usually I see a lot of them. So the one chipmunk and all the little ground squirrels and the blue jays, and they were just eating. And I thought, right? They're pretty present with their eating. They're pretty present with everything they're doing. And for 5 days, I got to be really present, feel the wind. The first 2 days, we got a lot of rain. I felt the rain, sort of. Heard the rain, saw the rain puddle up. Heard it at night in the tent. A lot of rain. I'm just thinking about that. And thinking how grateful I am for every moment of our lives, every moment of my life. And the experience of being present and being able to go and experience something like 5 days in the mountains. And it seems to me when I was up there that, we take this time and we get away. And yes, it's very, very good. But how come we wait to get away? How come we don't value, like right here, right now, as much as time in the mountains? And that's the other thing I learned, right? I came home, I looked at the garden, I looked at the house, and I was like, and that river ran through it, right? I was grateful. I was very, very grateful. When we were driving home, seeing everything, very grateful. And it's that gratitude, that ability to be present, the ability to appreciate where you are right now. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to, as life comes in and does everything, that I'm going to be able to always maintain that serenity in the mountains or that appreciation. But I'm going to remind myself, and, and I know that you as good friends of mine will let me know too. Patricia, let a river run through it, right? Let a river run through it, Patricia. And that brings me right back to center. And that's going to be my key word, And maybe it'll be your key word. Maybe something else will work better for you. But I realize that, I'm talking. I'll be talking for about 13, 14 minutes today. But I realized that there were long periods of time where Bruce and I didn't talk. It wasn't because they weren't interested in each other. It was because we were filled with the sound of silence. I know it's a song, but we were filled with the sound of silence. Think about that. Filled with the sound of silence. And that's this incredible peace. What do you say? What do you say when you are so filled with peace? I'm filled with peace, right? I mean, you're so full. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to share. It's just being. It's just listening to that incredible sound of silence within you. It's like the wind, right? It's kind of silent, but the wind. It was amazing to me to hear the wind. And that, we say, oh, the wind is blowing. But we never talk about like the sound, the different sounds of the wind, depending on what it goes through, like the trees or what it's whipping around. I mean, how strong it comes in. There's qualities to the sound, qualities to the sounds of silence. The more silent we become, the deeper the expression, the deeper the feeling. It's amazing. It's like this book, I'm not, let's see, where am I at? I'm in the 1800s right now. But these authors, I'm thinking I'm reading something from someone who wrote in the year like 1057. And this guy went to Mecca. And it wasn't, that's not easy, They didn't have all the airplanes and the ships and everything like they do now. And a little bit later on, there were pirates and people traveling to Mecca for something they so believe in. I think that's amazing. And we can take that journey within ourselves. I've shared with you before, there's that whole interior landscape of places you've never been within yourself. I found some of those places in the last 5 days. They were pretty cool. And I meditate and I teach and I do all these things, but I don't know. I needed some time just to. And now that I had it, I realized I could have done that here too. I mean, I do that here, but I could have done that more, and I could have, I could have let a river run through it. I could have done that a little bit more. And we could do that at any point of the day. We can just bring ourselves to the awareness and to the noticing, to the presence within. That was pretty powerful for me up there, feeling the presence. And knowing that no matter what appears out here in our lives, whatever's happening, we're always okay. We're so eternal, and we're so not what we appear. Because I was the trees and the river and the blue jays and the squirrels and the chipmunk and the rocks. It was everything. That's a pretty powerful thing to realize. And once you realize that, you never worry about, this. You realize that it's always all going to be okay. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that to happen. All right. Well, you have a blessed, blessed Thursday. Whatever happens today, bring yourself to center. Let a river run through it. I love you. And 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, I love myself. I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.